Round 4, and we are in for another battle between Singapore and Malaysia here.
Yeah, it's kind of a current team right now, actually.
Yeah. Two players, Max Lee and Zarif here. Zarif from Malaysia, and Max, a player that I'm guessing you're pretty well acquainted with.
Well, actually, Max isn't really that active here in terms of Pokemon here, but he's actually a friend of mine. And I kind of managed to rope him into this tournament, teaching some stuff. So hopefully he managed to actually do quite well. Zarif is also quite a known player in the Malaysia community. He's actually living in Australia right now. So some people say he's Australian, some people say he's a Malaysian representative. Either way, we have someone from another country here.
It shows that it's truly an international national championships that we have here. You know, so many countries being represented, and that's what I feel is so great about this game. That so many people get brought together for this common interest. Let's take a look at their teams though, as we have Zarif's team with Kangaskhan, Amoonguss, Sylveon, Suicune, Landorus, Heatran, whereas Max has a really interesting team here of Clefable, Garchomp, Talonflame, Gardevoir, Ferrothorn, and Gyarados.
Well, it's interesting that Max actually has two fairies on his team. Oh, I see now Zarif sends out Landorus and Kangaskhan, a shiny Kangaskhan. While Max sends out Ferrothorn and Gyarados. Oh, and a shiny Gyarados.
Max has a very interesting team here with 3 potential Mega Pokemon. It could be the Gyarados, the Gardevoir, or the Talonflame, but it's also interesting to note that his team looks very similar to Sejun Park's 2014 World Championships team. He has an offensive core of Gardevoir, Talonflame, Garchomp, and Gyarados. The redirector in the Fable, which was Pachirisu in 2014 World Championships, and the defensive pivot in the Ferrothorn here. So very, it looks strange at the beginning, but
it's like a 2015 version of the finals team. Yeah?
Exactly. So we hope to be in for a treat here, as Zarif is going to just go straight for the turn 1 Mega Evolution on his Kangaskhan there, baby out of the pouch, as Gyarados goes for the Protect, not wanting to take any fake out damage.
Rock Slide does come out, connecting with the Ferrothorn. Not going to do much, but it might flinch, which would be kind of detrimental here. Low Kick does come out onto the Ferrothorn, predicting the Protect here on Gyarados, dealing a respectable amount of damage, but getting hit by the Iron Barbs in return.
Is that what I see? I think that's a Rocky Helmet, and the Iron Barb's gonna stack, and Kangaskhan just deals almost a third of damage, almost 2/3 to itself just from that low kick. The Gyarados being able to intimidate.
Does flinch off the Rock Slide. It's pretty much here an even trade, despite Zarif being the only one that attacks. The Rocky Helmet and Iron Barb does deal a heavy amount of damage back to Kangaskhan here.
And honestly speaking, trading a Ferrothorn for Kangaskhan here is definitely a fantastic trade. That Intimidate that Gyarados fired off onto the Kangaskhan there, huge Intimidate, probably buys Ferrothorn another turn here.
Well, this is important knowledge here for Zarif. Zarif wouldn't want to use Kangaskhan against the Ferrothorn for this game anymore, or the next. As Ferrothorn, as you can see there, Ferrothorn pretty much just deals 50% back to Kangaskhan just by doing nothing.
But Max shows that he does have that Mega Gyarados.
Really reminiscent of Sejun Park's 2014 World Championship team.
As Ferrothorn is going to Protect, going to try to stick around for another turn. Does Kangaskhan go for the attack onto...
Rock Slide does come out, connects to the Gyarados. Another Fleet Shield will be kind of painful. Fleet Shield critical hit instead. Double H does come out onto the Gyarados. Good predict there. Then again, it's not gonna, realistically, it's not gonna attack.
Gyarados actually hangs on even after the critical hit. Rock Slide.
It flinches! Oh!
And the best move in the game strikes back yet again.
Keep calm and Rock Slide. Keep calm and Rock Slide.
That Gyarados is so bulky though, being able to take a critical hit Rock Slide and a double hit from Kangaskhan.
I mean, I guess the Intimidate does help a lot, but it's still a double target from two very strong Pokemon. Gyarados now use Protect. I guess I'm not really sure what's the idea behind this Protect, to be honest. Rock Slide does come out, connecting against Ferrothorn.
I think Max here has to be thinking that if Kangaskhan attacks the Ferrothorn, then he's going to be taking himself out, which is exactly what's going to be happening here. That critical hit, I'm not sure if that matters.
Hit, yeah, if it was a double hit. Oh, it does fade, yes.
But even with the single hit, Kangaskhan going to faint after the double edge and the Iron Barbs and the Rocky Helmet recoil. and Zarif loses his Mega this early on in the game.
It's kind of a good trade in a sense. You're just sacrificing a very defensive Pokemon that can't really damage much back to a Mega Pokemon like Mega Kangaskhan. Although Max does have a low HP Gyarados here right now, at least he does have 2 Pokemon on the field he could just send out. Zarif does send out his Suicune. Decent matchup, and Max sends out his Garchomp. Garchomp not really the best of Pokemon you want to face against a Suicune.
Garchomp was a very popular Pokemon in VGC 2014 due to the limited amount of ground types that were available. However, with Landorus Therian form being available in the VGC 15 meta game, it's the more common Pokemon we see. It has that flying type. It has that you know, the Intimidate as well.
And Rockslide does come out. Of course, KOing Gyarados after flinching twice. Garchomp's own Rockslide comes out. It does connect with 4 Pokemon, but does it get the flinch onto the Suicune? Oh, it does get the flinch! So much flinches this game. Rockslide being one of the most, really showing to be one of the most powerful moves in VGC.
And that allows Max to bring in his own Talonflame now. Crucial trip damage onto his Landorus here. That puts it in range for a Choice Band Brave Bird to take it out. And now Suicune itself has to decide whether it wants to go for a Scald or an Ice Beam here.
Well, I mean, either choices, Zarif does still have 2 Pokemon left, so still has more or less upper hand. However, it's still, whether it's, Ice Beam does get rid of Garchomp, it might be Yachiberry, who knows. Scald probably will take out Talonflame though. Rockslide does come out, does it finish? Oh, it doesn't finish. Ice Beam does come out onto the Garchomp. Doesn't have that very KOs in one hit.
The amount of damage dealt by that Talonflame there, as well as the fact that it did not take any Life Orb Reaper, probably means that it is a Choice Band variant, and Zarif has to be aware of that if he knows his damage calculation. And Amoonguss, not the best Pokemon he would like to see right now.
Zarif pretty much has game 1 here. Amoonguss can easily just redirect that move away, and Scald can just come out. But there's no redirection here. Probably doesn't really matter.
Going after Suicune though, not enough to drop it, just falling short there. As Suicune does reveal its Citrus Berry, gonna heal back 25% of its health. As Scald is gonna come out and finish off game 1 for Zarif. Fairly convincing win, although the match is really straightforward. We see a VGC 14 team, and we see a very VGC 14-esque game here.
It's a very hyper-offensive game style. Usually the only real defensive Pokemon you see at the time was probably Rotom or Ferrothorn. Ferrothorn really dealt well against Kangaskhan because of his Iron Bulbs and Rocky Helmet. And Rotom just being a good Pokemon all around.
Zarif showed very good recovery in the late game. He did lose his Mega Pokemon very early, but played to his outs, and despite some one unfortunate flinch in his favor, he still managed to clutch out the game in a very convincing fashion. I don't think he was in any position to lose the game there.
Yeah, right now Max just pretty much has to concentrate on getting rid of that Landorus, as Landorus has shown to be quite a big force against Max's team. Being able to send out rock slides, probably scarfing how fast it is. So, well, Max does have well, actually Max doesn't really have too much options against Gyarados actually looking at this team. He does have Pokemon that can survive rock slides, but nothing that can really kill it outright, except for maybe Gyarados with Ice Fang.
Max is probably hesitant about bringing the Gardevoir because of Zarif's Heat Tread possibly in the back. But Gardevoir here actually has a pretty good matchup against the Landorus if it's the Choice Scarf variant.
Now we see double shiny coming from Zarif. Sylveon and Kangaskhan, quite a scary day. Oh, and Gardevoir does come out actually this game. Gardevoir and Garchomp against Sylveon and Kangaskhan.
Gardevoir not triggering that traceability, so it's very similar to Stadium Park's 2014 Telepathy Gardevoir, so that you can fire off very powerful spread damage moves in this case. Kangaskhan most likely going to go for either the Double Edge or the Fake Out onto the Gardevoir, so Max plays accordingly and switches out his Gardevoir into the Ferrothorn, and Kangaskhan might be in for taking another heck of a lot of damage here.
The Garchomp staying indoor is a bit of a dangerous position considering that Sylveon is on the field. Hyper Voice can just pretty much take care of it, but Garchomp does protect, not wanting to get hit by the Hyper Voice. Ferrothorn will probably be able to tank the Hyper Voice, and Fake Out does come out onto the Ferrothorn. Not doing much damage to Ferrothorn, but Kangaskhan itself will receive 50% damage.
That is, you know, a rather obvious switch in from Max there, and Zarif here has walked right into his trap. Max here making the safer play to protect his Garchomp. A more aggressive play could have been to just go straight for the Earthquake if he does have that Focus Sash on his Garchomp like Sage Park did. However, the fake out into Garchomp and the Hyper Voice play to KO the Garchomp through his Focus Sash was definitely too big of a risk for Max to take here.
Yeah, however, fake out does come out onto the Ferrothorn instead, so it didn't really pay off. Landorus does come out, launching the Intimidate against Garchomp, being quite effective here. Ferrothorn too, since Ferrothorn, when it does attack, it is a melee physical attacker. Rock Slide does come out from Garchomp, but not gonna do too much to Sylveon, but whether it's gonna flinch. Oh,
and the flinch happens and Dragon Ball gets off!
It will be super effective, not too much damage due to the low speed between both Pokemon and the Intimidate.
Huge Intimidate there from the Landorus on both the physical attackers on Max's side of the field there. Max really walking a very fine line here, playing for Rock Slide from just this early in the game. But perhaps he doesn't have a good Hyper Voice switch in waiting for him in the back.
Going for Protect this time, not wanting to get Hyper Voice. Superpower does come out onto the Ferrothorn. But is it going to KO? Yes, it does KO.
Huge damage coming out from the Landorus. Zarif has had enough of Max's Ferrothorn here and wants it off the field right now.
No Iron Pulse and no Rocky Helmet for you.
Crucially now with Landorus locked into Superpower and its attack decreased. I think Gardevoir here is pretty free to come in and just start firing Hyper Voices. And Hyper Voice, I mean, a Dazzling Gleam plus an Earthquake here is going to be enough to take out this Sylveon.
Yeah, and as you see, Landorus is very fast. It might be Scarf, so a Scarf Landorus with Superpower is not going to really do much in this game. So Zarif is probably forced to switch out, and anything that comes in will receive heavy damage.
He also doesn't, again, Landorus is his only ground type resist in his team, so Garchomp is pretty much free to fire off an Earthquake here. If Landorus stays in, it's just going to be using Superpower even more, as we see Zarif acknowledging that Landorus can't do anything here. Kangaskhan comes back in. Is it going to eat a lot of damage here?
The Garchomp uses Rock Slide instead of Earthquake. Interesting choice. Psychic does come out onto the Landorus slot, KOing that Kangaskhan. However, the Sylveon is still there.
Sylveon's gonna get a free Hyper Voice here though.
It's gonna
fighting through a flinch. Does he have the Focus Sash?
Oh,
he does have the Focus Sash! So just like Sage Park here, Max has that nifty Focus Sash on his Garchomp, which allows him to survive that extra turn.
Not big, but now Garchomp is in a bad position. It's intimidated twice, so it's not going to be able to do much. However, switching Garchomp out into any other Pokemon would also kind of be detrimental unless it's because the Ferrothorn's already down, so you can't really switch out to that. But Garchomp does still want to stay in, maybe doesn't want to switch out, trying to stay on the field as long as possible. Gardevoir does avoid the Rock Slide, being able to send off the Psychic onto the Landorus, only KO, and it does KO.
Landorus outspeeding Gardevoir there is actually really surprising to me because Gardevoir usually runs a timid nature, which would end up outspeeding the adamant natured Landorus. So maybe Max has gone for a more offensive Gardevoir at the expense of some speed. Either that or Zarif has actually gone for a faster Landorus instead.
Yeah. I mean, as I said, Choice Scarf is possible, since it is one of the options that Landorus does run if it doesn't go defensive. So now it's kind of an interesting position. Gyarados or Garchomp can easily take out Sylveon right here, but Suicune can easily take out of Garchomp, sorry. However, both of them can't really do too much damage to each other.
Important information for Max to gain in this turn. Whether Zarif is choice specs on his Sylveon or not. If he's not, you have to imagine that a Tailwind Protect play is Zarif's 100% win condition here. There's no way of stopping that unless Gyarados immediately goes for a Dragon Dance. Gyarados getting that Mold Breaker ability, not so
like coming out.
No Protect coming out, which possibly means that the Sylveon is choice specs after all.
Critical hit on the and it flinches the Suicune. Ow.
Ouch.
Rock Slide.
Ouch, indeed.
Rock Slide really is the best move.
You really have to feel for Zarif here at this point. He's missed his own Rock Slide. He's been flinched by Max's Rock Slide repeatedly.
Well, I mean, to be fair, Max got flinched twice in a row in the first game, so...
Gyarados not outspeeding Suicune there is really surprising to me.
Well, we did see Gyarados surviving that double attack at the start, so maybe it's a very tanky Gyarados.
Snarl here gonna finish off the Gyarados, the Garchomp at 1 HP, but Gyarados is gonna get a full-powered Earthquake off here. Now, Waterfall coming out from the Gyarados, no Earthquake. That's strange to say the least.
I'm starting to wonder about Gyarados' moveset right now. Skull does come out onto Gyarados, wanting to get the burn, so I won't be able to attack back as much. Does it get the burn? Oh, Dragon Dust does come out. I'm not sure whether it will do too much now. A Skull, I guess it does have if a Skull burn does happen, but both Pokemon pretty much resist each other right now, so...
Gyarados going for the Waterfall again. Does he not have the Earthquake is the big question now. The Citrus Berry is gonna go back up onto this Suicune, bring it back into the green. Scald hits through the Waterfall flinch chance onto the Gyarados. Will he get the burn?
No, it
Still
doesn't get
no
the
burn. The roll's really not falling for Zarif in this game.
Waterfall does come out again. It's gonna be a 2-hit KO at this point, but what matters now is it gonna flinch. Oh, doesn't flinch. Scald. Another chance at burn. Let's see whether
this is Zarif's last chance to get a burn on the Gyarados.
No
burn. Doesn't get it.
Oh, the dice is really not luring.
Zarif has to be saving up his luck for game 3 here. He's been
but it is because oh my God, the flinch.
Zarif is definitely saving up all his luck possible for game 3 here. This is as he is just gonna forfeit.
No, I wouldn't really see this a good, what normal people would say good matches as we've seen in the previous games. However, it is quite interesting to watch. A lot of Rock Slide flinches, Waterfall flinches here and there. I mean, these are strategies that people can use with Waterfall and Rock Slide having a very strong flinch chance. And moving faster is kind of what you need with flinches. So as you can see just now with Gyarados, it's actually one of a slower, kind of quite slow. So Waterfall flinches is not really what it can go for, but let's say something like Zarif's Landorus quite fast, Rock Slide, you have to actually outspeed it to not get risk of being flinched.
Going into game 3 here, Zarif, I think he was really hard done by, had a few rolls just gone in his favor. He would have easily wrapped up the second game.
Yep.
So he shouldn't feel too down about that result and be more focused on maybe, closing out this game.
Zarif did actually make quite good plays, quite a good game there. Unfortunately, as you've seen, he got flinched, he didn't get the burn. So hopefully actually his luck does come back to him in this game and he can actually fight as well as he can.
Max actually doesn't have many options against Sylveon, as you can see here. So Zarif definitely wants to capitalize on the relatively very weak team on Max's end of the field. Yes, he does have that Ferrothorn, but Ferrothorn, we saw how little damage it did with the Gyro Ball. Talonflame is another fairy resist, but doesn't like taking repeated Hyper Poison as well, given its very low special defense.
Well, Talonflame can kind of knock out Sylveon very fast. It's still in danger against a Rock Slide against a Landorus, so Max doesn't, I mean, despite having an interesting team here, he doesn't really have too good of a matchup just because of one Sylveon.
Exactly, and Sylveon being such a common Pokemon in the VGC 2015 metagame, it's almost criminal to not prepare against it.
So we see Gardevoir and Gyarados comes out against Amoonguss and a Suicune. Amoonguss being able to redirect any of Gardevoir's or Gyarados' attacks. But Suicune itself not really being able to do too much damage other than maybe burning the Gyarados this time.
Zarif switching it up a bit after losing game 2 here, bringing in his Amoonguss, which he didn't bring in the previous 2 games. I think that's a pretty good call. Amoonguss here is not very well touched by anything on Max's team except for the Talonflame, which Max did not choose to bring in game 2. So having seen this, Zarif maybe is betting on the fact that Max doesn't have his own Talonflame, but the Energy Ball
does come out of the Zarif probably didn't go for the Rage Powder, thinking that he would go for Psychic instead. Gyarados goes for the Taunt onto the Amoonguss. Does it have Mental Herb though? No.
So that's probably why the Gyarados doesn't have Earthquake.
Yeah.
It has Taunt. Interesting mechanic about Taunt on Mega Gyarados. Mold Breaker actually allows you to taunt Pokemon that are oblivious to or otherwise unable to be taunted. So
quite an interesting
taunt Mega Gyarados here, definitely a more interesting choice here.
So see, the dreaded Sylveon does come out. Max is gonna want to try to take that out as fast as possible. Skull does come out onto the Gyarados. Does he get the burn this time? No, finally gets the burn!
Lucky! Finally in Game 3, Zarif is using up all the luck against him and gets off that burn on the first try. Energy Ball here, not really doing much damage to the Suicune, not even a 4-hit KO.
Gyarados does go for the Dragon Dance, not yet countering the burn damage drop off here, but another Dragon Dance will be able to do the trick. Interesting that Gyarados doesn't want to Mega Evolve here. The Dark type would kind of affect it very negatively against the Sylveon on the field.
Yeah, so Max knows what he's doing. He recognizes that Sylveon is a huge problem for his team, and is doing the best that he can to mitigate this Hyper Voice rampage that Zarif is learning right now.
Gardevoir probably will want to attack into the Sylveon, or maybe go for more energy balls. I'm not really too sure what Gardevoir does. Snarl does come out, being able to reduce the special attack of Gardevoir, not wanting to get energy ball again.
Zarif here now has total control of the board position. He is faster, he's dealing more damage, and he's limiting the amount of damage that his opponent is dealing as well. It's basically controlling every aspect of this game possible.
And Gyarados protecting, I mean, it could help it against being damaged by Hyper Voice. However, it is taking that burn damage every time. So Max has to take the initiative at some point, otherwise he's not going to get this game.
Burn is such a great status condition on Pokemon that you otherwise can't really, one-hit KO, because 1/8 of your HP every turn is actually a massive amount of damage. Especially if you consider that the Gyarados here wants to stick around for many turns in order to set up Dragon Dance and start firing off, boosted waterfalls.
Yeah, and burn reduces the attack, as you mentioned, reduces the HP every turn. You can pretty much use burn and play defensively around that burn Pokemon very effectively. Although Ferrothorn does come out, being able to take hits from both Sylveon and Suicune. However, it won't be able to kill outright. Interesting choice to Mega Evolve this turn.
I think Max actually wants to sacrifice his Gyarados this turn, and Mega Evolving here is just going to get it off the field faster to give him a free switch and back into whatever he has in the back. So again, Max shows that he knows what he's doing, but perhaps the team matchup here is not particularly in his favor. But he's definitely playing it, making his best plays here. Gyarados obviously is going to feint there, but he does get that free switch in. Had he not Mega Evolved, he might not have been able to do that, but Tailwind peters out here.
Putting Max in a better position right now. Yeah, it's not often you see a person Mega Evolve not to deal more damage, but just to get rid of your own Pokemon.
His last Pokemon is going to be that Garchomp, though. A bit disappointed not to see the Talonflame come out again, but obviously too afraid of the Heatran and the Suicune and the Landorus on his opponent's team.
I mean, Garchomp and Ferrothorn will be able to deal more damage as Garchomp is faster. And Ferrothorn does being able to take any hits from both Suicune or Sylveon. However, Garchomp does not want to get hit by the Hyper Voice.
That last turn was a massive turn for Max there, as not only did Zarif double target into Garchomp's Protect, he was also able to get off a Leaf Seed onto the Sylveon, which would also deal his own residual damage to this rather bulky Sylveon, and heal back his Ferrothorn to try to play for an endgame Ferrothorn here.
Yeah, Ferrothorn is one of those Pokemon that can pretty much has a weak condition. Once you take out any Pokemon that can really get rid of Ferrothorn very easily, just a Leaf Seed Protect would give you so much HP back, and you can really take a lot of hits. Ross like that, come out, not finishing the Suicune. Skull does come out onto the Garchomp. Does he get the burn? Doesn't get it. Oh, but Sylveon flinches. Power Whip does hit the Suicune. Kind of a big turn there for Max.
Max definitely needed the Sylveon to flinch there. Ferrothorn against the world probably wasn't going to go down really well at this point, but having gotten rid of that Suicune now, Max just might be able to pull this back.
We just need to see what Zarif's last Pokemon. Oh, it is the Kangaskhan, of course. Kangaskhan does not want to hit Ferrothorn here in this case.
Ferrothorn is just free to fire off Leaf Seeds everywhere this turn and gain massive recovery.
Garchomp could just protect and Ferrothorn could just Leaf Seed safely. as Kangaskhan would not want to attack Ferroton, and Garchomp pretty much can just avoid being picked up.
The safe play here obviously is to protect, and Max does make that safe play. Not wanting to lose Garchomp this early in the game. Low kick gonna come straight out onto the Ferrothorn.
Does it kill the Ferrothorn? I don't think it will.
I'm not sure. It might, but the Hyper Voice follow-up definitely is gonna be enough to get rid of it though.
Yep. Hyper Voice follow-up will definitely kill it, but at least Kangaskhan is hurt badly.
Hyper Voice definitely is going to take out this this Ferrothorn here, and with the Ferrothorn down, Sylveon will not lose that Leech Seed damage for this turn, and which puts it outside of Earthquake range from this Garchomp here. Garchomp isn't going to be able to KO Sylveon with a Earthquake, but perhaps
an Earthquake it might be able to be enough.
But you have to think that Kangaskhan has to go for that Sucker Punch onto Gardevoir, and there's nothing Max can do about it here.
Yeah, Garchomp, I mean, the only thing Garchomp can really do now is, I mean, I will hate to say it, but really go Rock Slide and hope for a flinch of Sylveon.
He has to flinch Sylveon once, and then go for the Earthquake the next turn in order to have any hope of winning this match.
Gardevoir will have to protect this turn to avoid getting Sucker Punched. Unless Zarif does go for an interesting play like Sucker Punching the Garchomp, but it Sucker Punch the Gardevoir as expected, yeah.
So Garchomp not protected here, of course, needing to get off the attack. Does he go for the Earthquake? He has to go for the Rock Slide. That is his win condition here.
That is the only play that Max can do, and that's the only way. Oh, but Hyper
Voice goes through, and Zarif
takes the win here, not wanting to get flinched. He's still finally pushing through that last Rock Slide.
I mean, that's the thing about Pokemon, and that's why best of 3 is such a great format. You know, sometimes you have roles that go against you, but eventually, if you do have the superior matchup and make the better plays and continue, making your best plays possible. In that sense, I guess the game does reward you for making your best plays. And Zarif definitely closing out the game in a very convincing fashion.
It's a convincing win, yeah. I mean, Rock Slide does have their flinch chance. It's relatively high, however, it is still less than half. So best out of 3 will even that out, and will reward the one with better plays, more skill, better team building. I
mean, Zarif basically had like a 20-something% chance to lose the game there. He needed Rock Slide to miss. I mean, he needed Rock Slide to either miss or not flinch, which is definitely less than 30% chance.
Yeah.
So eventually, Zarif showing that he does have the superior team matchup here and takes a very convincing win, moving 4-0. One of the few undefeated players in this round right now. I think we'll be right back after a short break with Zarif and hear his insights on how the game went for him.
Yes. And we are back for the interview. Congratulations, Zarif, for winning round 4. How did it, when you were facing up against a lot of Rock Slides, I mean, it must really kind of suck when you flinch, right? But were you? But
Rock Slide is the best move.
I mean, it's funny. I mean, I see you yourself used it in the first game, especially. But how do you feel about the fact that a lot of your second loss, your first loss in the game 2, actually kind of relied on flinches?
Well, it's part of the game. I've done that to people before, so I just accept it when it happens to me. It's part of the origin.
I guess it is easier to accept this kind of things when you yourself try to do it. Well, I mean, it is a legitimate strategy. I mean, it is part of the game, so you have to play around it regardless. But it's still a very good play on the second game. I noticed that you didn't really bring the Pokemon that would have kind of countered his Clefable out there. Would you afraid he might use Clefable to redirect any moves or anything?
Not really. I'm not really afraid of the very active in general. Because usually Kangas, a double target from Kangaskhan and something else is usually the
Oh, I see, I see. Well, I mean, that was a good choice. As you see, your Pokemon against Clefable he did not bring out Clefable throughout all his 3 games, so that was really a good choice for you. Congratulations again for your forfeit, and all the best for the rest of the tournament over Nationals. Alright, so we'll be back later with round 5.